Okay, so I got into this conversation. Wait a minute. I forgot my filter. Hold on. So I got into this conversation and I was proving that intoxicants and alcohol and addiction actually fueled the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade. It really did. It played a major part in it. There was a whole bunch of alcoholism going on and drug addiction. It all made sense to me a while ago. I did a video about this. I was like, how in the world would you sell off all your people and then allow, somebody to come and just take over? And then I just was playing around and I was like, had to be on drugs or something. And then I thought about it, they were, right? Alcoholism, drugs, intoxicants, right? So I'm revisiting that today because I was telling somebody about it. Okay. And I was like, yeah, y'all know it was alcoholism and stuff, because who would do some junk like that? Sober minded. Okay. And no one ever thinks about that, but nah, it's the truth. Okay. And a lot of people like to say, oh, they had guns, they had guns. Ain't no amount of guns no, baby, no. Watch this. See, this is the reason why First Peter and First Thessalonians say stay woke. Okay, stay sober. Okay, stay sober minded. Be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Let's go down to First Thessalonians 5:6-8. So then, let us not be like others who are asleep, but let us be who awake and sober. Okay. For those who sleep at night, and those who get drunk at night. But since we belong to the day, let's be sober. I know they tried to change the meaning of woke, okay? But I'm black. I got the real meaning of stay woke, okay? I know what the freaking real meaning is, all right? So that's what the flip it is. Be awake, stay woke, be watchful, know what's up, stay sober, know what time it is, okay? And so back then, during the transatlantic slave trade from the 1600s to the 1800s, they weren't woke. And I'm gonna show you where tonight I said, I know a scholar has written about this, because I mean, if I figured it out, I know a scholar did. They're just not talking about it, right? Watch this. And I'm gonna tie all this into today. Enslaving spirits. The Portuguese Brazilian alcohol trade at Luanda and its hinterland. Now, for those who don't know, Luanda is in Angola, okay? Now, watch this, okay? Where is it? Following the mid 1500 an extremely close relationship developed between imported intoxicants and slaves exported by the thousands in any given year into the Atlantic world. First fortified Portuguese wine, and following 1650 Brazilian rum emerged as crucial trade goods for the acquisition of slaves. But the significance of this Luso-Brazilian intoxicants goes far beyond this singular fact. They also served a number of other functions, some of which were directly tied to trading in did I get that right? Yeah, directly tied to trading, and others indirectly underpin the business. The volume addresses the problem of alcohol in African history, historicizes indigenous alcoholic beverages in West Central Africa at the time of contact, analyzes the introduction and increasing use of foreign intoxicants for the acquisition of exportable slaves, assesses the impact of foreign alcohol upon West Central African consumers. Kapoom! Here's the book right here. The author, History, University of California at Los Angeles, assistant professor of history at York University, has published extensively on demography, slavery, and slave trading in where? Angola. See, it just all makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even read the book, but I figured that stuff out last year, somewhere around there. I was like, oh, what, what? Boom, boom. And what helped me figure it out was a chief. When he was apologizing for his ancestors' role in the slave trade, he said, yeah, because they were bringing us beer. And he kind of smirked when he said it. Please forgive us because they were bringing us beer. And I thought about that thing and thought about it. Like, you have fond memories of the beer? You know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever talked to someone who used to be addicted to something and then they just have these little fond memories? And so I was like, they were addicts. Many of the people, I said many of the people, of specific people who participated in the transatlantic slave trade became addicts. They were addicts. Now move on to today, right? Modern times, right? What is it that happened? What did they drop into neighborhoods in the United States of America, in the black neighborhoods? Drugs. Slowed everybody down. Got everybody addicted. They weren't sober anymore. Destroyed the neighborhoods, right? Every time you turn around, when they need control, it even happened to the indigenous. Here, have some. Here, have some. Because you always wonder, like, why would you sign over your land? Why would you sign over? Why would you sign over? Then you think about it, right? People who are addicted give away their cars, give away their stuff, give away even family members for their addiction. The one who is not sober can be taken advantage of each time. Even doctors know what they're doing when they continue to hand you over something that makes you addicted. Because I don't want to take you out. I want you to keep coming back. I want to make you sick. I don't want to keep you sick so I keep getting paid. Same scenario. I don't want you well. I want to keep treating you. Y'all, this thing go deep. You hear me? It goes deep. Okay. Now this whole thing was on my mind because I saw somebody make a weird video about something. I didn't want to stitch it or whatever because I didn't feel like arguing or whatever. But they had all the wrong information. So I'm just bringing this out there. Hopefully they see it. If they do, hello. Hopefully they get educated a little bit. But there are many levels to this thing when it comes to the transatlantic slave trade. And one of the most sinister is something that is used today. Even God himself warns in the Bible to stay sober. Why do you think there's so many red dot stores in certain neighborhoods? Whenever you're offered, or whenever they start peddling or saying this is good for you, it's okay, it's okay. No, it's not. Stay sober. Stay sober. Stop the drinking. Stop the drugging. Stop it. Stop it. They're watching you be sick and they're taking while you worried about that, they're creating little laws around it. Okay, while they're doing that, we're going to come over here and take this. Every time you go over there and do that, they're taking this. Why? Because they're like, okay, so we're going to remain sober. We're going to get them high. There was an addiction problem on the continent of Africa during the slave trade. And a lot of that fueled those tribal wars because they needed to go and go slave raids and get other peoples to sell for the trade, for the commodities, for the liquor, the umbrellas and stuff that they wanted. But that sugar, that rum, there was an addiction and it destroyed West Africa. If you learn anything off this video, stay sober. Stay sober-minded. God knows best. Good night.